Everything. It's early. Sunday morning.
It's not bad though.
You all right?
I'm trying to soak in this this international one sheet.
I gotta tell you, because I've worked both, I think International Day is just fun. I don't know.
International Day is more fun.
I think so. Kristen Martin, International Warner Brothers.
That was a generic international accent.
What?
Russian, German, and English all in one.
It was just a big mix. I'm the ambassador of Warner Brothers. Like, didn't want to leave anyone out there, you know? Yeah, but loved the movie. It was awesome.
Well, thank you.
Really loved it.
Thanks
Brought
a
my
lot.
15-year-old daughter.
Yeah?
And she loved it. So
That's a target.
It's like across the, I was like, ooh, is this too? But it was good. It was fine for her.
Yeah, there's not... my 11-year-old can't see this, though, can she? Is this R?
My 11-year, yeah, it is, but my 11-year-olds want to see it, and I'm on the cusp because my older one said, a lot of times they. Am I going, Tom?
Oh yeah.
Oh, I didn't know. No one told me starting. Okay,
It's all
now
out of
we're
your
starting.
time. See the way
from here.
I bait you into that.
Yeah, sorry about that. Okay, here we go. Yeah, nice to see you.
Nice to see you.
So, try to describe this for me because it's a big mix of stuff, isn't it?
This is, it's a mix of funny and thriller and romantic comedy, maybe. And I don't think we bore you with any drama in this, although there's some really impactful moments. No, it's just a good, fun ride, and it's better than it has to be. I think studio comedies get away with being... not fantastic in some scenes, and I think what John and Jonathan have done is they've made a movie with, dare I say, no bad scenes, and there's a bunch of really good ones.
And the cast is awesome. Talk about the such eclectic group of funny, different kinds of funny. How did that work? Was a lot of kind of impromptu humor? Did you stay scripted? I mean, what was that like?
Yeah, we didn't really need to, fix anything with the script. They wrote a really, really good script, and then, we had our regular sort of making stuff up on the set, and the bad stuff gets cut out, and the good stuff kind of sticks around. And I can't remember what was written and what was made up, but the cast was incredibly talented and pretty disciplined with what they added and what they didn't. Sometimes you get people that just want to make up a bunch of funny stuff without any real thought about whether that's funny or on story or not. And these guys were just fantastic. So it's filled.
Talk about your relationship with your brother in this, because obviously it's one of the main focal points. What is that competition?
Well, my character is the younger brother, and I think I'm the younger brother, yes. And my guy's just always kind of lost to the older brother, and the older brother's much more comfortable in his skin, and he doesn't really notice that he wins all the time because he's just not that competitive, but my guy is, and that probably exacerbates the whole tension because it doesn't bother him, but it bothers me. And so when this movie starts, we're kind of at a peak point of competition, and that causes my character to kind of misread a few things up front. In other words, I think that what's really happening is actually not real, and so we make a bunch of bad decisions, and you kind of need those for a comedy.
Bad decisions all the way across the board.
Yeah.
Like you said, funny scenes. Talk about some of the craziest scenes you guys had to shoot, because there seemed like quite a few.
Well, there was, the whole thing is kind of hinged on a crazy concept where, a bunch of couplers are together for a boring, kind of tame game night, and then somebody gets kidnapped. So the premise itself is crazy, which is why I thought it might really kind of hook into people. And then our job is to try to keep grounding it, and hold it up against normal people's scrutiny. What would a sane person do at this moment? Wouldn't you call the police? Well, why aren't they calling the police? Then we have to come up with a legitimate reason why not. And in and amongst there's a bunch of crazy chases and situations that normal people aren't really equipped to properly deal with, and that's where we get a lot of our comedy, as opposed to jokes.
Are you the one that makes everyone laugh the most on set?
No, not me. I'm pretty boring, as you can tell. No, I enjoy the whole process of it. I mean, I like watching what the crew is doing as much as I like, kind of misbehaving with the cast too. I just think it's really fascinating what, the whole process of making fake life, and how many people it takes to do that. But there's enough people in this cast to make people laugh. I'm not much of a ham. I'm actually kind of shy, so I like to sit back and watch everybody make all the funny stuff.
And what's it like with Rachel? She's not here today, but I love her. I've interviewed her before, and she's so charming and lovely. And when you put some funny in there with her, I'm like, dang, she can do it all.
She's amazing, and she's as professional as she is funny, and as talented as she is beautiful, and she's just so easy to have chemistry with, and really glad she said yes to this. She should do more comedies, for sure.
And how this was directed. I mean, there's so much of everything, like you said. I mean, there's action, and there's funny, and there's, all this stuff. What was that like, just to direct a movie like this when you need all those elements?
Well, I didn't direct it.
No.
Yeah.
Meaning working with them and how they kind of brought that out in you guys to bring each of those elements to the movie.
Well, they wrote a great script for starters, and they kept a really light, easy, collaborative environment on the set, and that's what you want. You want to keep things light, and you want to make people feel safe to make fools out of themselves, because that's what comedy is. There's nothing really funny about people that are playing it safe and being guarded, and everybody was really comfortable with being foolish in this.
I liked it because it was unique. I mean, we have to see a lot of movies for work, and I'm like, it was unique. Did you think so? I mean, I've never seen a script or anything, a storyline like this.
Yeah, and I also think it was unique in that what John and Jonathan wanted to do was give it a little bit of an elevated aesthetic. They made it look better than it needed to, and sound better than it needed to. The music was a real specific creative choice, and the whole color palette, and so I think it's unique in that sense. It's you're expecting one thing, and then it delivers on that, and then some. So I'm really happy for them that they wrote such a great script and directed such a really good movie.
Talk about shooting that scene with the dog and the blood. That was insane. How do you even how?
Well, that dog is an incredible actor. I mean, look, he's right there on the poster. That's not by accident. And he was very well behaved. We just kept the cameras rolling, and we did that pretty quickly because we didn't know how long his behavior was going to last. So I kind of had to get him from A to Z, and they just kept the cameras rolling, and then they cut it all together. It took like 45 minutes.
You give yourself no credit for being funny, but I'm assuming on real game night, you take it up and kick it up a notch.
Every once in a while, I'll just sort of lay back and look for the big easy joke to say. I like to watch people and see them kind of make fools of themselves as either good winners or bad winners, or you can lose a lot of dignity in game night.
Any favorite games?
I don't know, charades and Pictionary and Balderdash is pretty fun. We have to make up a fake definition for a word. Take some acting skill to do that. I like that.
I was wondering, I was going to Google if there actually is a company that did, not to this extreme, but something like this fun, something out of the box.
There is a company, it was called LARF. I don't know if they still do it, but it's run by these dudes out of Stanford. That it's basically like a big extravagant, pretty highbrow scavenger hunt that you drive around the city with teams, and you have to discover clues at different locations, and you don't know what the next location is until you figure out the clue, and so it's it takes all day. This was not inspired by that, but as soon as I started getting into developing this, I was thinking about that and trying to add some of the elements of intrigue and complications that has.
It was awesome.
Yeah,
I loved
thanks.
it. My 15-year-old loved it. Hey, it's all across the board there. So bring her. I think your kids will like it. My older daughter said,